When the Peabody began its research in the Copan region in the 1890s, Frederick Ward Putnam was director, and this was one of many different kinds of research programs that he was very strongly supportive of. With the backing of a couple of Peabody donors, Stephen Salisbury and Charles P. Bowditch, they began this new research program. Mr. Bowditch purchased that concession for the sum of $10,000. This enabled them, with the backing of the Honduran government, to engage in research. The Peabody set to work. In addition to finding the hieroglyphic stairway, for an example, the Peabody folks were also finding other stelae, other altars, other buildings out in the valley, and engaging in the first excavation of what current scholars would call a house mound. This house mound was fairly close to the royal precinct, and it was the first case of household archaeology in Mesoamerica. So the Peabody were on the leading edge. Their researchers were doing work and recording all of these hieroglyphic inscriptions. George Gordon eventually published some extremely accurate decipherments of all of the dates on the hieroglyphic stairway. All of those dates and their decipherment have stood the test of time. This was published in a great Peabody Museum memoir that's still, often referred to. One of the important things the Peabody researchers did was to make more molds of the monuments so that these could be exhibited in the Chicago World's Fair of 1893. So actually, Putnam's work in Copan and a number of other Maya sites created casts that were then the mainstays of a number of museums. The legacy became even grander in the 20th century when the great Alfred Tauser was the distinguished Maya archaeologist who resided here for decades and had a huge impact training two generations of Maya scholars. Tauser published the great encyclical of Maya culture at the time of European contact. It's a critical book in the study of the Mayas. Tauser then finally retired in the 1950s. Gordon Willey was the person that was chosen to lead the field of Maya studies into the future. Willey chose to do something that hadn't been done before in the Maya area. His new approach was called settlement patterns. At that point in time, we knew a lot about elite Maya culture, but not all that much about Maya commoners. And Willey's methodology of going out and finding and mapping and analyzing the remains of all of the households and all of the construction features and public works of these ancient cities promised to shed new light on Maya society as a whole. It would be a way to sort of wed the ethnography of Tauser to Tauser's study of the elite aspects of Maya culture. In many ways, archaeology is now a race against time. One of the great things about Gordon Willey's new methodologies is it enabled archaeologists to record what was there. And in many cases, those sites are no longer with us.